What is up, guys? Welcome on back to the news with TK. And oh my God, it is not looking good for Letitia James. New information coming out. She could get perp walked on Monday. Monday. Oh, roll the intro. You know, one of the things I've learned in life is you don't throw stones in a glass house, right? I'm never going to go after anybody for street racing or reckless driving, getting into a fight at the bar every once in a while. I'm not ever going to do that, okay? Can't throw stones in a glass house. Been there, done that, okay? Same thing of while you are prosecuting Donald Trump for mortgage fraud, basically. You're going after him saying that he took advantage of the state and overvalued properties and filled out documents incorrectly. While you're doing it, on a day that you attended court, you signed. Oh my God, you can't be this stupid.
The idea that no person is above the law is a bedrock principle of American justice.
No man is above the law, no matter what the crime.
And I agree with you. No man is above the law, and no person is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one's above the law.
No one is above the law.
No man is.
Valentine's Day a year ago, roses are red, violets are blue. No one's above the law, even when you think the rules don't apply to you. Happy Valentine's Day. She, of course, referring to Donald Trump. Our next guest using that tweet against her. No one is above the law, even when you think the rules don't apply to you. Letitia James. Florida Congressman and Florida gubernatorial candidate Byron Donalds is with us. Congressman, it's great to see you. Pretty ironic. Karma, payback, revenge, all of them apply here. Do you think the DOJ actually charges her?
Well, look, if it's clear that she violated the law and she was committing mortgage fraud, not to mention, as I understand it, if you're going to be the New York Attorney General, how are you claiming that you live in another state? That just doesn't work. And so if all these things pan out to be true, she should be charged. She was quick to charge Donald Trump, saying that he put fraudulent information on a loan application. Well, that's what she's accused of doing right now. And She also accused Donald Trump of saying that Mar-a-Lago is worth $18 million. I mean, we all know that was just stupid and a lie. So if they go through their investigation and they find evidence, probable cause, that she was committing mortgage fraud for her own benefit, of course she should be charged. That's the way our system of justice works.
It all happened in 2023. So that's when she falsified these records, allegedly, and that was the same year she put Donald Trump on trial. Do you have any concerns about her being married to her father? Is that something we need to look into?
Listen, I think everybody's got concerns about that one. That's just not something that everybody thinks is cool. I don't. It's just weird, to quote a former person running for the vice presidency that we won't talk about. But look, at the end of the day, this is what happens. You have these officials who want to go on these witch hunts, while at the same time they're doing dirt behind the shadows, in the shadows. It's simply wrong. She should be held accountable like anybody else.
So the documents have been posted now, all right? And this clearly shows, this is cut and dry. This clearly shows that New York Attorney General Letitia James, on documents that she physically signed, committed mortgage fraud. There's no wiggle room around this. The certificate of occupancy is there. It is a 5-unit building. You listed it as 4 to get a lower rate, pay less on insurance. Oh, and by the way, pay less property taxes. So you're defrauding the state that you serve. You're paying less, I'm sure, federal taxes on the income that you earn. And you lied on official documentation to a bank. We're looking at bank fraud, mortgage fraud, wire fraud, and it looks like we also are looking at some campaign finance violations too. Can't make this stuff up.
On Letitia James, he's the source of all this information. Sam, thank you so much for joining us here on
Thank
the
you
set.
for having me on, sir.
You're a New Yorker. You live right down the street, and this is some fantastic work here. I want to start and get into just the specifics first. Starting with this Virginia property that she claimed as her primary residence while she was, I mean, this is Norfolk, Virginia. This is probably a 5-6 hour drive, claiming it's her primary residence while she's the AG of New York. From your report, you say James signed a specific power of attorney declaring her intent to make 604 Sterling Street in Norfolk, Virginia, her principal residence, a legally binding statement that may have automatically vacated her position as New York Attorney General under Public Officers Law 30, a declaration that came just 45 days before she launched her case, her civil fraud case against Donald Trump. Tell us more about what happened in Virginia here.
She purchased a property with a relative. It was in 2023, a few weeks. She closed
2 years
on,
ago, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She closed on it right before the Trump trial. And in the filed documents with the county clerk's office, there was a power of attorney that she gave her cousin or niece to close the mortgage.
Yep.
And on the power of attorney, she represented that I intend to use this property as my primary residence. Now, there's two problems with that. The first problem is she lied on a power of attorney. Would anybody really believe that she was going to move to Virginia in the middle of the Trump trial? Second part is there's Section 6 of the mortgage that states that the borrower, meaning her and her niece, have to occupy the property as their primary residence within 60 days. Not one or the other, both.
Wow.
She at least never occupied it. Right. That's
and what was the motivation to do this? Why lie?
Lower interest rates.
Lower interest rates.
I'd call her a petty thief.
A petty thief. This is, I mean, this is, when you look at the allegations she made against Trump, is this act worse, better, same?
Well, no. Listen, Trump is not a real felon. I'm a real felon. Okay, so so Trump didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. You don't see anything wrong in the case you made against Trump? You think, I mean, obviously, the jury here thought that he did something wrong.
Well, listen.
It seems like what every developer has ever done.
You should have listened to the appellate arguments because the appellate judges seem to be. It seems like they're going to write an opinion that's going to vacate the entire case.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay. Yeah. It's because, I mean, it obviously was. We were all astounded by what they charged him for. That penalty was ridiculous. I want to move on here. Let's talk about Brooklyn, New York. This is her actual main residence. She walked out of this house this morning, a townhouse she owns. It's a multifamily home. You discovered James has been claiming that her townhouse is a 4-unit dwelling when it actually has 5 units. Why would she do this?
To obtain lower mortgage rates. Again,
Same motivation.
if 1 to 4 units has different underwriting guidelines, and also insurance too, by the way, insurance fraud. Whereas if it's 5 or more units, it's considered a commercial property and also subject to different insurance guidelines.
Right.
She repeatedly lied because there's a certificate of occupancy that states that it's 5 units. And in New York, that rules. And it's unbelievable that that complaints were filed with the Department of Buildings, and they wrote it off as a minor problem, minor error. Where every other landlord in New York, if you pull that stunt, illegal conversion, having a building that's different from the certificate of occupancy, they will fine you. They will make you alter the building.
She's flat out lying on these documents. She didn't deny anything about it. 1983, she takes out a $30,000 loan with her dad. She files it as a husband and wife. She's married to a father. Why?
First of all, that was discovered by Joel Gilbert, not me. I don't want to take credit for anybody's work.
Okay.
All right, that was 1983. What he found was that she bought the house as daughter and father and daughter, and then she when they did the mortgage, it was husband and wife.
As husband and wife.
Also, you get different underwriting as husband and wife than as you buy it as partners or two family members.
We have
and now this is different from the Brooklyn home. This is a different property. I think it was in Queens.
In Queens, yeah. It was a long time ago. This is 41 years ago, 42 years ago. We have allegations of flying private on taxpayer money, almost $42,000 to places like Martha's Vineyard, Puerto Rico. We have luxury hotels with mischaracterized unofficial filings. What can you tell us here?
Let's break it down. Between 2021 and 2022, she used private jets to get around, spent $42,000 of taxpayer money. The vendor she spent the money on was called Venture Jets. No other government agency, because the information is out there, back to 2014 ever used venture jets or for private jet travel, period.
Yeah.
Then in 2022, when the government stops paying for it, her campaign starts paying for it. Now, let's go back to this stuff that the taxpayers paid for. If you align the payments for the for venture jets and those trips, because you don't pay jet travel net 30 days, you pay it COD, cash on delivery.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of those trips align with major campaign events that she was attending. That's a problem.
That's a big. She has a lot of problems here.
Right.
It's unbelievable reporting. We've dug through. I think the bulk of of what you have found. I believe. Real quick before I let you go, you have a past.
Yes.
And tell us how you got so good at what you just did with what you, I mean, you worked on this for 7 months. How'd you get so good at this?
Because I was a criminal for 20 years, and I was very good at doing what I did as a criminal. Morality aside,
yeah.
The FBI saw a talent in me, and they helped me out going forward after the Crazy Eddie case. The FBI taught me things when I was being investigated. The FBI taught me how investigations are done. All of the beatings that the FBI gave me when I was doing crime made me into a better human being.
That's amazing. And
so what happens now? It's Saturday. The day's almost over here Saturday. We're going into Sunday. And then do we see Letitia James get perp walked on Monday? Is it the own state police of New York that comes to arrest her? Is it the NYPD? Is it the FBI? It's going to be interesting to see. Now, I already see her legal counsel putting a thing of, oh, this is minor errors, and you guys are taking these minor errors and blowing it up into something that's not. Sounds exactly like what you did to the president. Except he didn't actually commit fraud on the documents. He did the same thing that every other building developer does, and that's put a value on his property that he thought it was valued at. Period. He didn't say that his mom was his wife, or you did, your dad is your husband. Granted, that might be outside the statute of limitations. He also didn't lie on how many units were in his building. He also didn't list a facility or a building or a golf course or anything else as his primary residence and then not live there.
I'm a reporter with the Daily Caller News Foundation.
Goodbye, you're trespassing.
I'm sorry.
Trespassing. My kids are around here.
I understand. We mean no trouble. We're just curious who the occupants of the home are,
Don't
because
worry
there's
about who's occupants. That's none of your business.
well there
You're
are connections to
but
New
you're
York Attorney
trespassing.
General Letitia
That doesn't
James.
matter. You're trespassing.
Are you related to
You're
Letitia James?
trespassing.
Do you know her?
You're trespassing. Go in the house.
Do you know
You're
Letitia James?
trespassing.
No? Okay.
You're trespassing.
No comment. Thank you,
Don't
ma'am.
pull up to my house no more.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a good one.
It's gonna be powerful.
You will.
Those are the things where Letitia James screwed up. The term "don't throw stones in a glass house" really has meaning here. I think Pam Bondi has to jump on this quick, fast, and in a hurry so that the rest of the base on the president's side will also be like, they're actually doing stuff. They're prosecuting people that were actually projecting those crimes onto others. Got to do it. There's no way you can just let this pass. So Monday is going to be an interesting day. Because that perp walk, whoo, it's going to make some news. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.